Award shows are a joke.
I don't know. I'll tell you!
But why really? After all, if we're talking about gaming, which is the main focus of this channel, we would have something like the Game Awards, the Golden Joystick, or hey, even Tokyo Game Show, because there's also awards present. If we take the biggest one, that being the Game Awards, you can't deny how big of an event it is, with now the upcoming one being the 10th show, which is an anniversary. The viewership of this event has been rising from 1.9 million in 2014 to a flabbergasting 103 million in the last year. And honestly, I respect Jeff Keighley and thank him from the bottom of my heart for everything that he has done for the gaming community. But now, what makes it still a joke? As you probably know, gamers vote for which game should win each of the awards that are present. Which sounds cool at first, until you realize that it only covers 10% of the whole overall results. Which may sound like a good thing at first, because hey, all the bias from PlayStation, Nintendo and Xbox fans may rig the results at the end anyways, right? Well, that is true, but what about the other 90%? Well, that is, ladies and gentlemen, the jury. The voting jury are 100 leading media and influencer outlets from across the globe. That includes all the beautiful reviewers and video game journalists. The same people that complain that a Souls game is too hard, a Pokemon game has too much water in it, and talking trash over RPG because they never liked RPGs to begin with. You know, it's just part of their job. That, once again, ladies and gentlemen, is bias. And not only bias, but straight up incompetence, ignorance, and sometimes people just not even knowing how to hold a controller. Some may say in modern terms that this is a skill issue. And sometimes it's not even about the game itself. Story or gameplay? Nah, it's about the special It's about the special message that it wants to deliver.
The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
The Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2.
Part 2.
Whoa.
Best storytelling has me still in tears. Besides, some reviewers don't even play the full game, depending on the length, that is. What do you think is the reason that RPGs and JRPGs do so badly on there? I mean, sure, JRPGs because the show is more focused on the Western audience, which is also part of the bias. But RPGs are long games. So what if there's multiple big games coming out? Well, you can probably imagine. Also, funny example. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 had bad tutorials. Universally agreed on. But then complaining about the game being too complex because of it and calling the beginning of the game a preschooler television program and far away from being an epic RPG while giving it a 4 out of 10 is wild. Because they also gave the same score to Gollum. No joke. You know what makes it even more wild? Complaining in the review for the third game that the tutorials were too much. And also simply hating the gameplay, 5 out of 10. Which they also gave Pokemon Violet.
Wow.
But hey, to be fair though, it was a different reviewer from the same label, which gave Dying Light 2 a 9 out of 10. Am I missing something here? In any case, many years later they introduced something else. Player's Choice. An award that is 100% voted by us. And guess what? There hasn't been a single game that won both Game of the Year and Player's Choice. Heck, there was Three Houses in 2018, not even nominated for Game of the Year. And, well, it won Player's Choice. The bias goes even harder, so much so that some prefer even a DLC to be nominated and win in a category over other newly released games. I may sound butthurt, and yes, I kinda am. Some of these decisions over the past few years on what games won left me unironically speechless. But you might wonder, what's the point of these awards then anyway? It is actually rather simple. Exposure. And I mean a lot of exposure. If we talk about the 103 million people last year watching it live, you can't really say it has been 103 million people because it counts as live viewers, which could include multiple people behind a single screen, people watching a content creator reacting to it. There's multiple games included I've never heard of in my life. Control? Celeste? Psychonauts? I mean, heck, even Hades. I probably would have never paid any real attention to these games if it wasn't for that award show. And I'm sure that people who play video games more casually even, maybe would have never heard of games like Breath of the Wild, Persona 5 or Sekiro, believe it or not. So, what's the conclusion? What makes it a joke? The fact which games wins the awards. People are different, tastes are different, a game can kinda suck, but you love it, you connect something special with it. It's your game of the year. But still, it is a great way to spread some light on games that maybe would have been drowned in all these releases, or never be as successful as they are now. But there is one thing that I personally like the most about it. We come together for a gaming event. It's a massive show about our hobby. A bit of tension for who's gonna win these awards anyways. New trailers for new games. And listening to beautifully orchestrated video game music. And simply having a good time, for the most part.
God of War Ragnarok.
So, if your favorite game doesn't win, don't be mad. It doesn't change too much. Probably. There's also probably a lot more that can be said or discussed about it. But is it really worth it? Because after all, these award shows are just a joke.